Hello and welcome back to the ministry. And today we are talking about receiving the new. We're going to just flow with this. Right now, we're in a season, we are transitioning. We actually are in the middle of the transitionary period of coming into that 5, 7, 8, 3 year on the Greek Hebrew calendar and coming into the very end of our current year, um, 2022. So we're encapsulated in between the end of one and the beginning of another. So we're seeing the two ends meet. So we are in like an incubation period right in the middle of that. But we have yet to see the end of the year, but we've already stepped into the beginning of something new. So we're in a preparatory season where we can see two things occur. We're seeing the opening of a door to something new, and we're also seeing the closing out of something old. Some of us are being prepared to shift into something that is completely different than what we've been used to. And we are in the adjustment period. There is a lot of conflicting messages at this particular point in time. Some are saying, oh, you passed your test. Others are saying, you're going through the warfare. Some are saying that the warfare that you think that you're going to go through, you're not going to go through that because X, Y, and Z. You've actually gone through a transition where the assignment that was set forth before you to come against you has actually been destroyed. But you're also looking at certain other issues. So it's that element of, because of where you're deciding to stand in this time, a lot of us are in a state where we may be standing for something or the preparation for something to open up. And I'm gonna tell you this. It's been a rough couple of days because it's almost been like there's a part of you, and tell me if this is true with you guys. Part of you is telling you you should fast, but the other part of you is telling you that you don't want to go through the warfare, you don't want to do it. Tell the truth, same the devil. The fact of the matter is you feel it. You feel the necessity, you feel the exhaustion, you feel it. But you're resisting it because you don't want to deal with what comes with that. Because you already sense, oh, this ain't gonna be a fun one. This ain't gonna be a smooth sailing one. This is going to be keep all eyes and ears open because the enemy is ready to bounce type one. And you're like, I don't have the energy for it. Because God is preparing a breakthrough. And sometimes with a breakthrough and a birthing of something, there's going to be pain. Pain of decisions, pain of cutting, pain of separating from certain things. There's going to be pain that comes with receiving the new. There's going to be loss in receiving the new. You're going to have to allow things from your past to die as you are resurrected into that new thing and the things that can't go with you. Some of the things that you're going to end up leaving in this season are going to die off in the next one. And it's going to be painful to watch them go. Whether it be relationships, whether it be actual people, whether it be things in which you held on to, people, places, and situations. But you can't allow those things to prevent you from celebrating the new thing. Because what the enemy tries to do in a time frame in which you're supposed to be celebrating is he tries to pull you into a state of melancholy sadness over the things in which you're losing. So you can't even celebrate the promotion because you're too sad about something that's going on in your personal life. Or you're supposed to be going through a preparation for your marriage, but somebody in your family that you care about got sick, or somebody in your family went through a traumatic issue, and if you allow it to, you will allow the empathy in your heart towards that person to steal your moment that you should actually be happy for yourself. Stephanie P released a word the other day talking about you need to be able to receive the joy of this thing because you deserve to have it. Some of y'all are going to be getting engaged. Some of y'all are going to be getting married. Some of y'all are going to be receiving all that in the same day and experience. Some of y'all just going to be receiving the person that you've been praying and waiting for the Lord to release unto you. Some of y'all going to be receiving houses, new cars, new experiences, career moves, all of these things. Because you were willing to have the faith to move into that thing. For God in this season and in this time is He's doing the inner work on you. He's showing you how to operate in the inner work necessary to make sure you're clean before He releases to you that thing in which you've been waiting for. So you're in that state where you've got to be able to receive it. And yeah, you may be like, oh Lord, I don't want to go through all of that. But that's God cleaning out those places and spaces. And some of it isn't as hard as it appears that it might be. Some of it is just going to be a release. Some of it is going to be simple. Some of it is going to be you receiving something. For the trouble at which you had to go through, as according to Isaiah 61. That as you are receiving for the troubles in which you are going through, you are going to be able to feel better. You're going to feel the relief of having received. A lot of us have been in maybe passive aggressiveness because of the fact that, how many times I heard this before? Oh Lord, you done said this 15 times. Last year you said this, and the year before that you said this, and the year before that you said this. Why should I get my hopes up this time? I'm so tired. I'm so exhausted. I'm so this. I'm so wore out. Why should I? And God's like, I need you to be able to receive this. Be in expectancy. Don't be in fear, because the enemy is trying to do in this season. He's been trying to send fear, especially in October. It was fear all month. And you felt the residuals of it. But you got to be able to receive. You got to be able to walk right. You got to be able to repent for the things in which you may have done, said, or were out of order. Because you weren't operating within the right clarity of the Lord. So that you can be able to receive. Clarifying and cleansing yourself. Trying to make sure that you are in the right place so that you can receive what it is that the Lord is showing you that you're supposed to receive in this season. because that's where we're at right now. You have to be willing and open enough to receive and trust that the blessing is coming and this is the time for it. Because sometimes your passive aggressiveness is the thing that's delaying and blocking the thing from coming to you, because God can't get that thing to you because you're rejecting it spiritually. God's saying, I'm sending it, but you're not receiving it because you're not receiving it. If the post office sends a package to you and you don't sign for it and saying have received it, what's the post office going to do? Take it back to the post office and send it back to sender. It's like, oh, you don't want this evidently because you weren't willing to sign for it. But, oh, we talk a good game. We will pray a good game out our mouths. We'll go into war or something crazy. But part of the process of praying is the receiving part. Sometimes you can be in disobedience because you didn't receive the thing. Because we can ask, seek, and knock. We can pray pretty prayers. We can pray pretty warfare prayers. We can go up in the spirit and have ourselves a wonderful performance. But if once we're done, we don't receive because we don't feel worthy, or because we're depressed and we feel tired. And we're just like, I'm too tired for this. I can't allow myself to feel again the excitement for something coming and not receive it. I can't do that again. So we become passive aggressive toward the thing in which the Lord is saying, no. This is time I'm actually telling you the truth. This time is actually coming. I mean it this time. Because we may have dealt with people in our lives that promised us things and they never showed up. And God's trying to tell you, I'm not saying that I'm doing that to you. I'm saying that this time is different. I'm saying that I'm going to do something different this time. I'm going to show a different side. I'm going to bless you in a different way. I'm going to surprise you for the fact that you stood and I have been standing for this thing. I always ask the Lord when I pray to surprise me, do something I wasn't expecting. Because that gives the Lord the opportunity to gift you with something that you wasn't expecting. I do that on a daily just about. So you have to be willing to be receiving if you're going to ask for something like that. You're willing to walk into the thing in which you've prayed to receive. You have to be trusting in the fact that God's going to give you something. Because you're an apple to the Lord's eye. For if my Father gives good gifts, why would he not give us good gifts? And sometimes because of the things in which we've asked for, he's been storing up and storing up and storing up. It's like that child that is asked their parent for a series of things. I remember being a child and I remember I wanted so badly to get the first PlayStation. Because at the time, no. It wasn't the PlayStation, but I did get the PlayStation. I got the Xbox, but I paid for the Xbox. My mom gave me money for all the chores in which I did. And as I did chores, she gave me money for it until I added it up and it came out to the cost in which we had checked. The first time was the cost of the thing in which I was desiring to get. Then, after that, we ended up going to the store after the money had come together, only to come to find out that the amount of money that I had saved up for it, from the time that it came out to the time that I had saved up for it, it had gone on discount, which allowed me the ability to have almost $100 more to be able to buy what I wanted. Outside of that, I bought a DVD. I bought the video game I wanted. And yeah, so I was able to receive a gift. God wants to give us more than what we asked for. See how I was just trying to get the Xbox so that I could get the video game, but I ended up getting a set of DVDs that I wanted too. So it was a blessing in disguise. That's the way God wants to bless us. You're asking for this, you're asking for that, you're asking for the other thing. God is preparing to give you something exceedingly abundantly greater than you've asked for or think, but sometimes you get confused because you had to wait for it. And God's sitting up there laughing in heaven talking about, she don't even know how big this is. They don't even know. For y'all waiting on your marriages. There's a husband out there. And it's funny, Megan Michelle did a live the other day, and she was sitting up there saying, your God-ordained spouse has gotten with the Lord, and they've been speaking in private in a conversation that you had nothing to do with about how they're going to surprise the living heck out of you. Well, can I share that? Years ago, when I say years ago, I had this dream maybe about 6 years ago. I walked into the door of an unfamiliar home. I knew I was home. When I looked to my right as I was walking in, I saw my dad and I saw my mom. My mom's been passed away for almost 17, 18 years. And my mom was young. And my dad was the age that he's been. And they were both happy. And I went to greet them. And it was like they were smiling because I didn't know something. Only when I turned around did I see my spouse, who was sitting on the chair waiting for me to get to the room. God is preparing to surprise you with something that you didn't see coming. There are surprises, there are proposals, there are marriages, there are career opportunities, there are shifts, there's ministry, there's things that are coming that are going to manifest and transform and transition you and things in your life, elevate you to levels and things, babies that are going to come out of that marriage, because now's the time for them, because time's winding up in this world, and there are things that those kids are going to need to do. So some of y'all have been sitting there, I want to spend time with my spouse when I get married. Surprise, you're going to be pregnant, like, immediately. Because some of us, we're like, oh, we want to spend time. We want to get to know our spouses and enjoy. And come on, let's be honest. Some of y'all was just trying to enjoy a little bit of the sex before you had to be interrupted by children. And you get a little bit of time to enjoy that. But you got to be able to receive. You got to be able to receive your partner. The reason that you've been having to wait for your partner for so long is because you had to be able to receive them when they can. Yes, you had to go through 7 or 8 or 10 or whatever many years of preparing for that person, but they actually didn't have to go through that. And some of us are kind of mad about that because we had to sit there for as long as we had to wait for them. They running up the steps where we're like, Why did we have to drag ourselves from bottom to top? Feet lame and couldn't move. And we felt like we was pulling up by our upper arms to drag the rest of our bodies up the steps just to get to the top. And it seemed like the God of their spouses, they just got to run up the steps. It's like, God, what is that for? But it's all coming together. And it's going to be new, but you got to be able to receive it. Yes, there may be a little bit of warfare that comes with it. But Prophet Parham released a word recently saying all of those contracts and assignments, they are actually being rendered null and void. Every assignment has been canceled and nothing is going to be able to touch this new thing. That's why the enemy has been trying to whoop your behind before you got there, because he knows once you get there, he can't touch you no more. Because you're always sitting there, a lot of the people, Megan has said it, and even Prophetic Diary has said it. Some of us have been sitting there feeling like, yo, if I get this, does that mean that I'm gonna end up with confusion as a result for this? What is this? Am I gonna end up getting a knock or a blow to me that is gonna be so heavy if I haven't received something so beautiful? That we on the lookout for the hit. It's like, where the hit at? I know it's a hit coming. With Shula King, a comedian I watched, he released a video the other day where he showed the police trying to hit a door with one of them huge lumber barricade, black, whatever the cap thing that they use to bust doors open. And they couldn't get the door open. That's what's going to happen with your enemies. You're going to get to where you are going, and they ain't going to be able to bust that door open. They're going to want to get in there. It's going to be like when the bride who had their lamps lit got entered into the wedding celebration, and then the door was shut and locked. The enemy's going to be sitting up there with a military brigade police official log ram, whatever it is that they call the things that they try to hit them doors with. They're going to try to come in and they're not going to be able to. Because you are going to officially be entering your season of rest, and that's what the enemy has desperately been trying to keep you from. So when you get there, for all of that you had to go through, you better enjoy it. You better rest in it. You better relax in it. You better sleep, rest, enjoy the time, enjoy your spouse, enjoy the vacations, enjoy all of it. Praise Jesus. Love God. Pray together, fast together, whatever y'all got to do. Come into ordinance and understanding with one another. Because God's in the midst. God is in the midst of this. And God's not going to allow all the work that you've done to get the blessings, it to be stolen from you. Yes, you're going to still have to steward and maintain the blessings that you have. Yes. But you're going to get the assistance to carry them. And you're going to have to, one, receive the assistance to carry them. And to be able to have the ability to walk in it the way that God's showing you need to walk in it. Allow the Lord to lead, guide, and direct your steps. To show you the way. To bless you as you're coming and going. To bless you as you move and maneuver in this season. Let the Lord lead. Let the Lord guide. But receive. The most important thing that you can do is receive. It's like for those of you that are dreamers, if the Lord blesses you with the gift of having dreams, receive the dream in which He gave you. But also make sure to thank the gift giver for having given you the dream, because if you begin to reject these dreams, He can take them away just as easily as He gave them. Same thing with the things in which the Lord is giving you. A lot of people will receive the thing that the Lord has given them and say, oh my God, I can't believe that the Lord gave this to me. And then turn around and something steals it away from you and wonder what happened. Your mouth. You may have spoken an unintentional word curse. I was listening to something this morning, and the person was talking about break the inner vows you made that curse the very blessings in which you're praying for. Your own word curses. Stand. Walk. Operate in the way in which the Lord is seeking to show you in this season, so that you may be able to receive what God is trying to show you that He's trying to give you in this season, so that you may be able to see God move and maneuver in a way that you will be blessed beyond what you could ask, think, or imagine. Receive. Receive. I need you to sit down. A lot of us have been in that state where we've been disconnected from our blessing. My pastor used to do this, and I think I'm going to instruct you guys to do this. Everything in which you pray for, whether it's money, whether it's marriage, whether it's a home, whatever that thing is, a car, whatever, I need you to go sit. And I used to do this, but I stopped doing it because I considered it to be meditation. But I think sometimes we need to meditate on these things, to sit down under the prayer music of the Lord and see yourself in it. I believe Jacqueline Carr, it was either Jacqueline Carr, Tasha Cobbs, or what is her name? Shade Sinach. Did a song where she talked about receiving it and being in it, in the house. In the beginning, she tells the testimony of being in the house in which she used to drive by. There are homes, there are blessings, there are places that God's wanting to take you right now. I need you to see yourself there. I need you to envision it. I need you to close your eyes and see yourself sitting in the house, sitting on your bed in your brand new house, getting up from that bed in that brand new house, walking around that house as if you in it already. See your spouse in your life in that place. Do you have placeholders for this man? It's a woman that I followed. She has a friend, and her friend said, I know that this man is coming into my life. I'm already buying him stuff. She bought his robe. She bought she bought these things for him. What are you doing? What are you doing? I remember one point in time I had bought some lotion. I bought some gifts, certain things but I believe it was a reason that I lost those things, because the person I was around did not appreciate, though she appeared to have a energy that was for God, but she had no God in her. And the things in which she was doing and saying was actually counterproductive to what I was praying for at that time and in that season. So it was literally fighting against the very thing in which I was seeking and standing for and towards. So some things you may have lost in this previous season, you had to lose them. I think I said this the other day, that there are things that your God-ordained spouse, that there may have been things that the woman in which was in his life may have cursed by saying, oh, you're going to lose all of these types of things. You ain't going to lose anything that God gave you. If he lost anything when that woman was in his life, it was everything was attached to her. But the sight of things being lost may have scared him. You don't lose anything that doesn't belong to God. The enemy tries to steal those things, and you may catch the enemy trying to steal because his plans are being messed up. So he's trying to have a temper tantrum and destroy what God's giving you. But he cannot take it. And you cannot touch what God's blessed. So receive. Don't fear it. Fear is a lack of faith, and it is pushing the very new blessing in which you are seeking away from you. Receive the new. Receive the new. Receive it, because it's coming. I can't tell you. The Lord revealed something to me last night that even I am joyous about. And you got to be able and willing to receive that new. So this is Taj McCameron for Love, Faith, Peace, and Blessings Ministries. Until next time, much love, faith, peace, and blessings to you. Bye-bye.